And I said, heck with you. I don't want to know you anymore. I'm mad at you. I shan't speak to you again. And 2 months later, he called me up. Hey, let's write a song. So I did. And a year later, it was a hit. And if I had said no, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now.
Right.
I wouldn't be at this festival. 40 years of experiences, memories, high points, low points.
Yep.
And the big lesson I learned is it's not over until it's over.
Yeah.
My kid, my ex-wife would never have happened if I had said no. So I drive that lesson home. The only answer is yes. How bad can it be? If you made a mistake, don't do it again.
Welcome to Curious Goldfish, a podcast community where music and curiosity come together through interesting conversations with the music makers of our world. I'm your host, Jason English. You can find Curious Goldfish on all the major podcast and social media platforms. And of course, we have all of our content on our website, curiousgoldfish.com. Hey everybody, it's Jason English with Curious Goldfish. Thanks again for joining. Say Yes, that's the clip you just heard. And it's the thread that runs through 40 plus years of Dan Navarro's career. He almost didn't write We Belong. He was furious at his writing partner and ready to say no. But he said yes instead. They wrote it in 90 minutes, and a year later it was a Pat Benatar hit, and it's still paying the bills 4 decades later. But that's just the opening chapter. Dan is a songwriter, a voice actor, an activist, and a road lifer, who at 72 is still crisscrossing the United States because he wants to know what's around the next corner. He says his favorite day is tomorrow, and his favorite gig is the next one. And I think he means it. I sat down with him at the 38 Songwriters Festival in January. He's full of stories. The conversation was full of laughs. And I hope each and every one of you take something from it. He has so much wisdom to share. So now, from Los Angeles, California, but for this conversation from Seaside, Florida, here's Dan Navarro. Let's dive in. Dan, Happy New Year.
Thank you, man. Happy New Year to you, too.
It's good to see you again.
Absolutely.
So we're here at 38 Songwriters Festival. I mean, you're a veteran of this thing.
I've been doing it for about the last 9 years in a row, maybe 10. And
Yeah.
it's my favorite festival of all of them.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you're in a beautiful place, even if it's cold. And, I mean, how can you beat that? Look at that over there.
Yeah,
but my
bad.
friends all play this, so I get to spend some time with them.
Yeah.
It's become my favorite festival.
Yeah. What is it about it? Is it, I mean, you mentioned the scenery and the friends, but is this that unique compared to everything else
Well,
you do?
normal festivals, you've got your big main stage where it's thousands of people.
Yeah.
You've got your side stages where it's hundreds of people. This is a whole bunch of 20 to 50 person rooms, which means you can draw really, really well. So does everybody. So you've got a full house and people are appreciative. They force you into rounds. I don't mean force in a negative way. So you're sitting there playing with people sometimes you know and sometimes you don't know anything about them. So I've met some incredible people here that I'm like on stage with and I knew nothing about them. So it's a really cool, fun festival.
We were talking before about like Folk Arts Alliance, right?
Folk Alliance, right.
Yeah, Folk Alliance. How many of these types of things do you do?
Well, it's never been that many, but it rotates around. I do about 6 or 7 festivals a year.
Okay.
I would like to do more like 15.
Okay.
And maybe slow down the small club touring. Because after COVID, in order to kind of cocoon myself, I bought a van, and so I drove around in a cocoon. And I've been touring in the old days, for a long time, it was fly and drive. Fly to a hub city, rent a vehicle, drive around, return the vehicle, fly home. So I drove out here from California 11 days ago.
Jeez.
And it took me 3.5 days to get to Baltimore. And I'm eventually going to drive back,
Yeah.
at some point.
All right. Well, good. Well, it's good to see you again.
Thank you, man.
Last time we saw each other, saw you and Lily Winwood and Mike Kinnebrew perform outside of Atlanta at Eddie Owen's place.
The Red Clay Music Foundry.
Great venue, and that was a cool show because it's the in the round kind of thing that you're.
I enjoy that.
So yeah.
Mike, I discovered Mike. He came up and started talking to me at a show, and then he invited me to stay at his place in Macon when I was on my way through. I ended
cool.
up getting a hotel. But I decided to listen to him, and I think he's great.
Yeah.
And he's kind of just starting out.
Yeah.
So You know, I booked him for the Cantina Navarro at Folk Alliance next week.
Oh,
And
sweet.
he's a good guy.
Yeah.
You know, Lily Winwood is fabulous. She's interesting. She's got a sort of Nashville English accent because her dad's Stevie Winwood, and she's English, but she's American too.
Yeah.
But she's really talented.
Yeah, they're both great. Yeah, Kinnebrew, we've become really good friends, and he's like the most sincere,
Very.
authentic person that I know. Like
That's what it's all about, man.
yeah, it's good.
You know, there's a million phonies if you want to go look for them. I don't have the time or the energy. Guys like Mike, I'll jump through hoops for.
Yeah. Well, when we saw each other, obviously you're known for so many different things, but you were like, I was like, hey, I'd love to talk to you for the podcast, and you're like, well, I've got stories, you know. And I know you've told a million stories.
got stories,
but I'm
all
gonna put the big elephant in the room is obviously the Pat Benatar hit
Right.
that you and your former partner Eric Lowen wrote way back when. What's one story that you've never told about that experience or that song? Or
Well, never told.
is there anything that comes to mind? You're like,
Yeah, there's actually one shortly after, while it was a hit. I'm out at a pub with a guy named David Bryant, who was a collaborator, and he and I wrote a song that Dionne Warwick cut. And there's a beautiful girl 2 people away from him at the bar, and he catches me looking at her, and he goes, "Hey, man, I'll take care of this for you." Hey, hi. My friend was wanting to talk to you, and I want to talk to you too. You know, you should. This is my friend Dan. You know that Pat Benatar song, "We Belong"? And she goes, "Yeah." And I'm going, "Oh, you know, big hit. Everybody knows it. We belong to the light. Yeah, you know that song? He's got that record." And it's like,
perfect. Yeah, perfect.
But the classic story that I do tell a lot, but
Yeah.
it's, I didn't want to write that song. Eric Lowen and I were in the middle of a feud. We weren't speaking.
Yeah.
He had asked me to leave a band that I wasn't, the band was not going anywhere. I had a day job that was taking over my life. This was 1983, 42 years ago. And he kicked me out of this band. They basically said, "He's your friend. You brought him in. You got to fire him." So he did. And I said, "Heck with you. I don't want to know you anymore. I'm mad at you. I shan't speak to you again." And 2 months later, he called me up. "Hey, let's write a song." And I went, "You've written 4 songs in your life. I've written 100. You boot me out of the band. You're not even really a songwriter. And you have the temerity and the audacity and the gall and the huevos to call me up to write a song." But instead of saying that, I'm going, "You're not doing anything. You're dying on the vine. You're sitting around. You're doing your advertising job, and you're hating your life. Just shut up and go write the song." So I did. And a year later, it was a hit. And if I had said no, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now.
Right.
I wouldn't be at this festival. 40 years of experiences, memories, high points, low points.
Yeah.
My kid, my ex-wife, would never have happened if I had said no. So I drive that lesson home. The
Yeah.
only answer is yes. How bad can it be? If you made a mistake, don't do it again.
Yeah.
But we wrote that song in that night.
Well, like this profound serendipity there, right? So,
Right.
and you do have this like say yes mantra that you're known for. Like what is the lesson? Is it just kind of get over grudges? Is it get over your own ego?
Yes.
Is it saying yes? Like what's
It's all of that. It's
Yeah.
grudges, ego, pride. It was pride and bitterness. I was mad and I was proud because he'd had the audacity, and I felt like he destroyed my dream. He didn't destroy my dream. You know, I was at a crossroads, and I will say I was 31 years old. You get kicked out of a band at 31 years old, and that's not great, especially a failing band. So I thought, well, that's it. It's over. And the big lesson I learned is it's not over until it's over. So here was this opportunity, and we wrote the song, and we didn't sit there and go, "Oh, this is going to change our lives."
Yeah.
We went, "Okay, fine. I like you. Let's get together and write a little more. I like this song." He started taking it to publishing companies, and everybody turned it down, including a guy who later said, "I've got an idea." Calls us up, says, "I want to do a handshake deal with you. I've got an idea." And 1 week later calls up and goes, "It's going to be Pat Benatar." And I'm going, "What? Are you, what?" And it happened the way he said it would. And, you know, our lives were not golden after that. We made money, we had a hit, and we were big in the community. We had a lot of setbacks, a lot of good fortune, a lot of bad fortune, real up and down. But everything started there. What I never could have guessed is that 20 years after it came out, it would start increasing in radio plays, getting used in commercials and films, and an hour, and it was 90 minutes of my life that supports me 42 years down the road. I don't even want to calculate how much that is per minute.
So the mailbox money that represents, I mean, without getting too detailed, can you just, is it $4.99 that you still get like every month? You know, like what, does it still kind of trickle in like that, or is it a lot more?
It had diminished to the point after 5 years I couldn't live off just it.
Yeah.
At the 15-year mark, it had gone down to Midland and below Midland 5 figures a year. So I was doing other things. That's when I started doing movie work as a singer and a voice actor, started singing in commercials, started doing animation voices, started singing in multiple movies because I broke into the community by accident. That was another say yes moment. Dude calls me up. I'm 36 years old. Hey, you want to sing a jingle in my garage for $100? I just cracked a beer, was about to watch sports. And he was 30 miles to his house each way. All right. And I met someone on the session who started hiring me for Spanish language jingles and started out what is now a 38-year career of doing that kind of work. I get my health insurance from the Screen Actors Guild. I'm on the board of SAG-AFTRA. It changed my life because I said yes.
Because you said yes.
But yeah, so the income had diminished. Then it starts slowly turning around. Then it starts accelerating. And in the last 10 years, it's a living all by itself.
Is it really?
All by itself.
Oh my gosh.
It's really, really weird. When
That
we're
is
off camera, I'll
wild.
tell you the actual number.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say it on the air.
No, I mean, it's that, because at one point you famously said too that you actually make more from T-shirt sales than you do from,
Well,
royalties
and that,
stuff.
and in terms of the road, that's true.
Yeah.
I make most of my income off of my songwriting catalog, and 95% of that is We Belong.
Yeah.
I make a good amount of money, but not quite enough to live off the movies and the residuals on the movies.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about working through the union, is if it re-airs, you get paid. And some years it's better than others. It's been really up and down. I barely cracked 10 grand under that work in 2010. And 2023 was the biggest year of my Screen Actors Guild AFTRA earning career, because I sang in Coco and Encanto and Puss in Boots within an 18-month period. Go figure. The income has contracted slightly, but I'll roll with it. I mean, how bad can it be? What I did discover is the touring, which after we were hit songwriters, we said, we want to be artists. And everybody was, you're nuts.
Right.
You're throwing away a lot of income to go sit in cars and vans and buses and airplanes. And we went, yeah, that sounds good. It's the only income I have control of.
Right.
It's the only income where I can book a show if I want to. Everything else is subject to other people calling or just the chance of what radio or TV does.
I mean, you can't really budget against some of this other stuff that's coming
No,
in, right?
you budget like you're poor.
Yeah.
And in a good year, I'll put money away.
Yeah.
When my kid was in college,
Yeah.
I had 2 really good years, and I put his college money
Yeah.
away. He graduated NYU, and I didn't go bankrupt. And I took out 11 grand in student loans.
Wow.
Which we paid off quickly.
Yeah, that's nothing.
That's nothing.
If it's
Compared to
NYU?
people doing 200 grand in student
Yes.
loans, and we didn't have that. I've been really, really lucky.
Yeah, that's really good.
I've made some really good decisions, and I have made some of the dooziest, worst decisions in history. Those make me laugh. And those are what I teach when I do classes.
Yeah.
Because I do classes at colleges and stuff.
So what's the worst decision?
Oh, there was a particular manager who was really, really, really interested in us, and the guys in the band didn't like him. And I did, and he ended up managing Don Was and big people. And it's like, dudes, we screwed that one up. Yeah, there was that. A friend of mine wanted to do a Lowen and Navarro song on a Dusty Springfield album when she came back. She had done Dusty in Memphis. Well, this was Dusty in Nashville in the early 90s. And my label said, no, we want to hold that for a single for you. So I could have had a Dusty Springfield cut.
that's-
And it was in the bag.
Yeah.
The head of the record company wanted it. Didn't happen. Yeah, they make good stories.
Well, you mentioned earlier the commercial work or the jingle work kind of happened by accident, but that's led to this whole plethora of earning opportunities and
Right.
different things like that. So for all the singer-songwriters that are in Austin or Nashville that don't, and they may never have that access, like, what's your advice to them? Is it just say yes? Because, like, they may have their own path? Like, what?
If you can imagine it, try it.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing of, no, I don't do that. That's death.
That's stuff.
So I had dated somebody and we had stopped, but we stayed friends. And she goes, you sing in these commercials. How do you feel about doing unidentifiable voices, group voices on an animated series? Now, it's union, but it doesn't pay very well. There's a quirk in the contract, pays very little money. $99 a show, no residuals. At that point in time, day rate was like $650 plus residuals. Heck yeah, I'll do it. That turned out to be Family Guy, and I've done over 250 episodes. Now, it still pays poorly. It's like $250 an episode with no residuals. And I do Invincible for Amazon Prime. It's about $1,100 an episode plus residuals. But it's 250 episodes on a hit series. It's still on the air.
Yeah, I would imagine that like you can't go after the perfect deal all the time because you're going to preclude yourself and restrict yourself from other things that may not be less attractive but could lead to other things.
And so people have asked, do you think you can do this? My first voiceover, I was hired by somebody who I had done jingles for, who wanted me for a Toyota commercial. And I get to the studio and they go, actually, this is a voiceover. So I was the Spanish language voice of Toyota Southern California dealers for 2 years. Based on that, it was a commercial every 6 weeks, 2 commercials every 6 weeks. So, it's just dare to fail. Just say yes. If you don't know how to do it, figure it out by morning. And it'll enhance your life. It'll teach you something about how the world works. And for me, I think this is it's fun. I just want to have fun.
How do you protect your personal identity and the core of who you are when you're doing some of this anonymous work that no one may never know that it's you? And then compare that to your songwriting.
That's a blessing.
Everything that's personal.
I have a famous cousin who's a rock star. Dave Navarro from Jane's Addiction and the Red Hot Chili Peppers is my first cousin. We're very close, although our schedules mean we don't see each other very often. And I adore Dave. He's my baby brother, but he can't always go out in public.
Yeah,
he's recognizable. He's very famous. I can go anywhere and nobody knows anything, and so it's fun. I can do the work. I can see my name on a screen. I can be in a session situation with a well-known actor or a well-known director doing something really cool, and then I go about my business.
There's freedom, right?
There is.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting. I got hired to do a soundalike for Javier Bardem in Pirates of the Caribbean 5. So I'm looking at picture going, I had to learn how to talk like him. And I will walk in this boy's shoes. And I had to crooked up my face to talk like this. So later I got hired for another movie, and the director was Darren Aronofsky, who had done Black Swan. And it was a movie called Mother that did not get great reviews when he was dating Jennifer Lawrence. And I'm doing these voice parts. But cool. I'm sitting there in a room half the size of this room here with Darren Aronofsky.
That's cool.
And I'm going, Jesus, what just happened?
That's cool. Well, similar to the Say Yes mantra, one of the quotes that I love that you've said, I forgot the context, but you're like, my favorite day is tomorrow.
Yeah.
My favorite gig is the next one.
It's really true.
And, you're in your 70s now. Obviously, you have a different perspective than you did, 30, 40, 50 years ago. I guess, how are you able to maintain that positivity?
Negativity gets you nowhere. Yeah. Negativity, you get to be right, but you don't do anything. Positivity, you might be right sometimes, you might be wrong sometimes, but it's easy to be negative. It's harder to be positive, but I want to have a good time. No one cares if I'm having a bad day. Zero, except me and whoever I'm hanging out with. So I'll just go, okay, let's keep it upbeat. I love what I do. I want to keep going. I want the Grim Reaper to make an appointment. And I know what's going to happen. He's going to be sitting there going, Satan, he was supposed to be in Seaside. I think he's in Pensacola. Do I wait for him to cycle back, or do I go chase him? I've been chasing him for a while, man. I think. So I just want to have a good time and be of positive value to a community. That makes me happy.
And even though you've lived a long life, it is short. I mean, it's so short, right?
Well,
we were talking about that earlier, right?
I don't know if you have kids. I got a 29-year-old son, and some of the things we parents of that era talk about is it goes by in the blink of an eye, but it takes a long time to go by quickly.
Yeah.
So if you pay attention, it's a long life.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember stuff from 50 and 60 and 70 years ago, and I can't remember where I put my keys, but I'm still having fun. And that just means whatever happens, at my age, I lose a friend a week. And when my time comes, I want laughter, a little bit of pathos, and maybe stick it to a few people. But
All right, well, let's talk about music. The last album that you released is Horizon Line,
Correct.
Right? There's a song on there that I want to ask you about. There's a couple songs, but the first one is Tar Pit. So is that a relationship?
yeah, it is.
Breakup?
It is.
Like, is that
there
is that
are
one of those?
three songs on
Yeah.
that album that came from the same relationship.
Oh, jeez.
Tar Pit, Sleep Tonight, and Oklahoma Skies were all the same person.
Yeah.
And one is wistful, one is pretty deeply sad, and then there's Tar Pit. I stepped into a tar pit. The water looked real because I believed somebody when they said I love you. I should have known better. Truth told, I did know better. I ignored it. She was so beautiful. She was a lot younger than me. And I went, oh boy, yeah, but I mean, simple arithmetic. It's like, no, man,
That's not going to work.
it's not going to work. But I went for it anyway, and I basically crashed and burned.
Well, I mean, you
I got a song out of it. I'm healthy.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Again, I'm in my early 50s. I was married a long time. I've been divorced now 4 years. Relationships at our age are hilarious.
Oh, good God.
Like it's, you think that everybody's kind of figured it out, but
No,
everybody's
no,
not
no.
really figured it out.
Well, sometimes you go all the way to the very, very end, which means that you're not even on your first date and you're booking the hotel. And that's not smart. Or you're on your first date and you open the day, well, it's nice to meet you. This isn't going to work anyway. And that's not a way to go.
Yeah.
I will say flat out, I'm in a relationship of 3 years with someone I've known 20.
Yeah.
And it's turned out to be the best relationship of my life. Communicative, upbeat, lots of laughter, never a problem. We disagree once in a while, but they're not arguments. It's like, I want to watch TV. I want to go for a walk. Well, why don't you go for a walk? And then I'm sitting there going, come on, chump, go for the walk. It's a half hour of your life.
Yeah.
Go for the walk, and then you can both watch TV.
Yeah.
You learn flexibility,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty ridiculously happy.
Yeah. So
But it is hard.
the song "She Dreams in Music." What you
That
didn't mention?
was-
You didn't mention those three. Or
Well,
that's one of the
She
three.
Dreams in Music was written with my friend Robert Dale Klein.
Okay.
And Robert is a songwriter who's about my age who made his career as an attorney, but he was always an amateur songwriter. Well, guess what? It turns out he's really good at it,
man.
but he had a successful career as an attorney. So I befriended him, and I'm a guest in his home, and he wants to write a song, and I'm rolling my eyes going, oh my God, just humor him. And he has this idea based on a painting his wife had given him, a kind of a cartoon-like painting of a guy directing an orchestra. And he said, my wife calls it He Dreams in Music. And the light bulb went on. I went, dude, that's a title.
Yeah, seriously.
He came up with the whole chorus. He did a lot of we came up with the verses together, but he came up with the chorus. He got it. He understood what it meant. My favorite part is we're breaking up the second verse on the fly, and I just blurted out the line, I've known trouble, and he blurted instantly, and trouble's known me. Boom, that's in.
That's in,
He's
yeah.
a fabulous songwriter and a great friend.
Yeah.
And it was not a true story from my life, but the way the experience came out of this situation with this painting and his wife and all of that, it's organic and it's real.
Thanks for sharing. So the Horizon Line is your most recent album. Are you working on anything?
I've got about half a dozen songs for a new record,
Yeah.
but I'm kind of focused on early next year making a record in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
I speak Spanish. I've sung in Spanish on other people's records, done a lot of commercial work and movie work in Spanish. I'll do a song or two in Spanish in my set once in a while, and everybody's going, you got to make the record, and I've committed to a couple of people that I work with that's going to be the next album.
It's time, yeah.
Probably called Corazón Lucero, which kind of means heart star, but as it turns out, my mother's maiden name was Lucero. Her mother's maiden name was Corazón. Corazón is the heart. A Lucero is a light source. So it's like heart star. And so I'll write the song. Corazón Lucero, este amor verdadero. Un tiempo de paz. No me dejas quizás. Corazón Lucero. Something like that. And I got to finish it.
All right. So where do you think, again, 50? We were talking earlier, it's your 50th anniversary of your first cut, right?
Yeah, today, this year in
This
August is the 50th anniversary of my first cut. Jesus.
Damn.
That
Okay,
happened.
well, that's good. So where do you think you are as an artist, and where do you want to be?
Well, I'm no longer waiting for my ship to come in. If there are high points, they're going to be organic. There's a lot that hasn't happened. I've never had a hit song bigger than a regional hit as an artist. I haven't written a hit song for someone else as a solo writer, but I like the process. So my whole thing is if I can just keep stringing, a few 5-point wins together,
Right.
I don't really need to win the World Series. It's all good. I'm having a very, very good time. So I want to maintain the energy. If I can write some songs that move people, the last record had songs that moved people, so that was success to me. But the plateaus, at this point, survival is success. And I can keep going as long as I have the energy for it.
Okay, awesome.
So far, so good.
So this is a whole nother conversation, which we don't have time for, but you're have been involved for decades around all the things related to payments and
Right.
royalties and protecting people, the side voices, the side gigs, all the things that you've done. I guess, where do you see the music industry going, do you think?
That's a hard one. Streaming has changed the economic platform.
Yeah.
I'm afraid we can't put the genie back in the bottle. It's
Yeah.
too easy and too relatively inexpensive for the consumer. So they can get the wealth of the entire music literature for a monthly fee. The payments are not great. I don't like that. Getting them to go higher is not necessarily in the cards. I think that the streaming services need to pay more. There are some people who believe that people who think like I do want to get rich off of modest plays. I'm not that guy. And he knows who he is who thinks that. And we're friends, but that's not what I think. I just want to get paid fairly. And some streaming services are getting away with murder while others aren't. When Daniel Ek says the cost of creating music is zero, he's lying. I paid a lot of money to make my last record. The cost to make average music is zero if you're working in your bedroom. Toward that end, I want to get paid a little better. The purchase model was really good for artists. It was great for record companies, but it was really horrible for the public to pay $18 for an album with one good song on it. So I'd like to see it balance out. What it's really turned into is that the live model is where you make a day's pay for a day's work. And if you're motivated, you can make a very, very nice living doing that. But the days, and a lot of people who are not well-known writers are getting songs in movies and television. That can work out. But the old days are gone.
Yeah, the old days.
And they're not coming back.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. Well, again, I'm a big believer in curiosity, and I can't wait to ask you this question. So, again, at this stage in your life, with a happy relationship, a son that sounds
He's thriving. He's doing
thriving, all the things, and everything that you're doing or have done through your career. What are you most curious about?
I want to know what's around the corner.
You do.
I want to know what's next. I want to know, will the Dodgers three-peat? I want to know what's going to happen to the recorded music model. The live music model, I get it.
Yeah.
But recorded music is really vibrant and sends me. How does that work?
Yeah.
How does an artist afford to make a high-quality record when the economics aren't there? Where is that going to go? I kind of want to know what's going to happen politically in our world, and I'm not going to go into detail, but I certainly want to stick around long enough. I don't want to check out before it's resolved.
Right.
That might save me some anguish, but I'd like to know where that's happening. I mean, I kind of want to know what's going to happen in this new Game of Thrones series that's coming out. I kind of want to know.
How do you have time to watch stuff?
I don't really. I mean, my girlfriend and I sit and we'll binge watch certain series, and we started watching the series Victoria about Queen Victoria. Well, they ended it in the third season, and I'm going, well, maybe the next season will be like a few months away. And I looked it up. The third season was in 2019. Everybody's scattered. It ain't going to happen.
Oh my God.
Damn, man. But, I want to know if there is a big thing out there for my big hit song.
Yeah.
Will it ever be recorded by somebody else and be a hit again? It's been close.
Close, yeah.
I mean, Miley Cyrus put it on a live concert, and it gets recorded all the time. But, I'm still curious about what's going on out there. And so I'm not ready to check out.
Yeah.
Still read the newspapers, still watch TV. But, Dodgers three-peat would be a groove.
Well, your horizon line it's still out there.
I'm
still
set
chasing
my
that.
sets on the next horizon line.
Yeah.
It's really true, though, man. I mean, a lot of people my age who've done some of the things I've done live off the old glory. And that, I don't deny that those were great days and they were great, experiences and events I'm proud of. But I just want to see what's next.
Yeah.
Bring it on. And that's why I stay on the road, on the highway, in a car. Instead of, a lot of my friends say, I don't want to tour anymore.
Yeah.
Well, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Stay home.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to do that.
Cool. Well, Dan, it was great to see you again.
You too, man.
Appreciate your time. I guess, can we hear some music?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
This is a song I wrote with Deborah Holland. It'll be on my next album, called These Ordinary Days. You were sleeping, you looked so peaceful. I was careful not to wake you up. Pulled back the covers and got in under. Nothing matters but the two of us. Quiet dreams, simple pleasures. Let the burdens that we carry fade away. Well, there is no sweeter gift than to celebrate. There is so much to treasure in these ordinary days. In a world so disconnected, it gets hard to find solid ground. We keep on running around in circles. Let's take the time to slow them down. Quiet dreams, simple pleasures. Let the burdens that we carry fade away. Well, there is no sweeter gift than to celebrate. There is so much to treasure in these ordinary days. These ordinary days. No manic red, no bitter blue. I have all I need here with you, right here with you. Well, there is no sweeter gift than to celebrate. There is so much to treasure. Quiet dreams, simple pleasures. Let the burdens that we carry fade away. Well, there is no sweeter gift than to celebrate. There is so much to treasure in these ordinary days. These ordinary days. These ordinary days.